Morning folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's well, hope everybody's happy. So we're back in the garden this morning, and after a good few months actually, because we've had lots of adverse weather obviously, and it's a nice sort of sunny day, and we're going to do some rotavating, so I've been really looking forward to this. So as you can see, we've hired a rotavator. So this is quite a beast. It's either 8 or 9 horsepower. So we've hired that, and I've been given a demonstration on how to use it. So we've done some preparations. So basically we've dug up any obvious suspect areas which might have any rubble in and removed those the best we can. There was a sort of a concrete border around here, pulled up all those slabs and any bricks, that sort of stuff, rubble. We've actually raked back the gravel on this side here, so that doesn't obstruct anything. We've pulled up any obvious bits of plastic which are lying in the ground. There was lots of that because, as you can see, there's loads and loads of gravel. There were gravel borders around the garden, okay, so we sorted that out. We've also taken the timber off the garden, we've measured it up, and just so we know what we've got really, because we will be hopefully making some planters, some timber planters. So, and also another thing we've done actually, when we pulled up the decking, it was clear that there's a big slab of concrete under there which is quite thick, and I'm not even going to bother trying to break that up. I'm just going to bury that under soil. So what we've done, we've staked out the area in question, and so we know that 2 or 3 inches underneath this surface is a big slab of concrete, but as I say, we'll bury that, and we're going to get about 6 tons of topsoil anyway, so we're going to cover that up anyway. And also the garden does undulate a little bit, so we want to try and level it out a bit. There's a bit of a depression in this area here, so yeah, basically we're going to rotivate the garden completely, get rid of as much crap as possible, try and level it out the best we can, and put some fertiliser down, and then we're going to lay some turf. I'll reset the camera and I'll get back to you. Hi guys, so it's been a couple of hours. It's only been marginally productive really. The ground may look okay, we've only managed to go over it once, and the reason is quite simply because the rotavator, despite the fact that I was told that 9 horsepower would pretty much be unstoppable, that's not proved to be the case at all. The engine kept cutting out, and the reason was because the ground, it's still quite wet. It obviously has a high clay content, and basically it kept clogging up the rotavator, so every sort of 5 minutes we were stopping and you know, unclogging it, start again, 5 minutes later it'll clog up again with bits of grass and twigs and stuff like that. So basically it whilst it's been helpful in the sense that it's enabled us to go over it just once, it's also been rather disappointing because I was hoping to go over it 3, 4, 5 times basically, you know, doing it finer each time, but unfortunately it just isn't worth the time or the effort. So from the hire company I asked them to take the thing back. So what I'm concentrating on now is just levelling out the garden. Now I don't know whether you can see, but there's tons and tons of gravel in here, and initially we started bagging the stuff up, but you know, we could be here for weeks and weeks trying to get rid of all of these stones. And obviously when we think about it, we do need drainage in the garden as well. So what we're doing is basically, you know, going over it with a rake, getting rid of you know, all the horrible bits, removing as much grass as possible, getting rid of the really big pebbles, bits of brick, little bits of whatever we found in there, and we're just levelling it off now. Okay. And if you look at the soil down here, it's just so thick, clayey, really, and we've had quite a bit of rain, and we've got another couple of days of rain coming up basically. So we just want to try and get as much done as possible today, because we're not going to be able to do anything for a couple of days. And then over the weekend the ground's probably going to be that wet that we're not going to be able to do a lot anyway. So, you know, just do what we can while we can. Spirits are dampened somewhat, but that's the way it goes, isn't it? Anyway, get back to you in a bit. Well, day 2 in the garden, guys. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm not deriving any pleasure from this at all. So yesterday, didn't do anything. It was just chucking down rain all day. Sun's come out, so back in the garden. So I'm basically just digging over the soil. So this is what we've got so far, and it's pretty bloody back-breaking work. But anyway, it is what it is.